In the small town of Willowbrook, nestled at the edge of a dense forest and shrouded in a perpetual mist, a chilling event unfolded on the fateful day of June the 9th, 1959. The disappearance of a 7-year-old girl named Jane Harper sent shockwaves through the community, forever altering the course of its history. Jane was a bright-eyed and curious child, known for her infectious laughter and boundless imagination. Her smile could light up even the darkest corners of the town, and her presence was a ray of sunshine in the lives of her family and friends. But on that ominous June morning, the sun seemed to pale in comparison to the shadow that descended upon Willowbrook. As news of Jane's disappearance spread, the town's collective heartbreak was palpable. Flyers with her cherubic face were plastered on every lamppost and bulletin board. A sense of urgency gripped the community, and a fervent search effort was launched, with volunteers combing through every inch of the town and its surroundings. Local newspapers carried poignant articles, capturing the anguish of Jane's parents, John and Emily Harper, as they pleaded for their daughter's safe return. The entire town rallied around the devastated family, determined to bring Jane home. But despite their best efforts, the days turned into weeks, and Jane remained elusive, as if swallowed by the very darkness that seemed to envelop Willowbrook. Whispers of supernatural explanations began to emerge, whispered in hushed tones behind closed doors. Some believed Jane had wandered into the woods and encountered malevolent spirits, while others spoke of a curse that had befallen the town. But the truth was far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. Unknown to the townspeople, Jane had unwittingly become a vessel for an ancient and malevolent force. The forest that bordered Willowbrook was no ordinary woods. It was a realm where the boundary between the living and the supernatural was blurred. On that ill-fated day, as Jane innocently explored the woods, she stumbled upon an ancient relic, a vessel of darkness that had been lying dormant for centuries. As Jane touched the relic, a surge of dark energy coursed through her, forever altering her essence. Unbeknownst to her, a demonic entity had taken residence within her, manipulating her thoughts and desires. What Willowbrook once knew as Jane was now a puppet, dancing to the sinister tune of the malevolent force that had claimed her. Under the grip of the demon's influence, Jane's actions took a sinister turn. She found herself drawn to the long-abandoned CAF station, a place that had always held an air of mystery. The building, once a hub of activity during wartime, now stood as a decrepit monument to the past. Jane's innocent laughter, once a symbol of joy, echoed through its desolate halls with an eerie resonance. As night fell, the true extent of Jane's possession became horrifyingly clear. Fueled by the demon's insatiable hunger for power, she embarked on a spree of violence that would forever scar Willowbrook. The construction site adjacent to the CAF station, once dormant, became a site of unspeakable carnage. Workers, drawn by an invisible force, met their grisly end at Jane's hands. Blood now stained the very ground upon which Jane had once played innocently. The construction site, once abandoned, now harbored an ancient malevolence that pulsed with the sinister energy. The demon within Jane reveled in its newfound power, savoring the taste of chaos and fear. Yet, the demon's thirst was unquenchable. Jane, or what remained of her, began to venture out from the construction site each night, her eyes glowing with a malevolent red light. The town that had once known her as a beloved child now shivered in dread at the mere mention of her name. The once vibrant streets became deserted after dark, as fear drove residents indoors, locking their doors and windows as protection against the unknown horror that prowled the night. The neighboring town, unaware of Willowbrook's tragic plight, soon became the target of Jane's insatiable appetite for destruction. The demon within her reveled in the suffering it caused, leaving a trail of blood and terror in its wake. The once happy town now knew only despair, its inhabitants living in constant fear of the malevolent force that had taken root in their midst. For years, the horror continued unabated. The legacy of Jane Harper became one of fear and trepidation, a reminder that evil could take root in even the purest of souls. The town of Willowbrook, once a haven of peace, was forever changed, forever haunted by the echoes of a child's laughter twisted into a sinister cackle. And so, the chilling warning persisting through the generations, Jane has become a blood-hungry demon. Stay away. The tale of Jane Harper serves as a grim reminder that darkness can take hold in even the most unexpected of places. Willowbrook's scarred history stands as a testament to the thin line between innocence and malevolence, a line that can be crossed by forces beyond human comprehension. And as the years roll on, the memory of Jane's possession lingers, a tale that continues to send shivers down the spines of those who dare to remember. Second story, Amanda the Vampire. In the world of scientific brilliance and innovation, one name reigned supreme, Dr. Amanda Sinclair. Her intellect was a beacon that shone across continents, and her name was synonymous with breakthroughs that pushed the boundaries of human potential. Amanda was not just intelligent, she was a visionary who believed that her work had the power to change the world. For years, Amanda had poured her heart and soul into a secret project that she believed would revolutionize human capabilities. Her vision was to bestow humanity with extraordinary strength and abilities, an endeavor she pursued with unwavering determination. Every meticulous detail of the experiment was methodically planned and executed, leaving no room for failure. At long last, the final stage of the experiment was upon her. It required a human subject to test the culmination of years of tireless effort. Fueled by her unshakable dedication to the cause, Amanda boldly volunteered herself as the subject. With conviction in her eyes, she knew that this was her chance to gauge the experiment's success firsthand and identify areas for improvement. As the experimental injections flowed through her bloodstream, Amanda felt a rush of power surge within her. The sensation was unlike anything she had ever experienced, a surge of strength that resonated deep within her core. She effortlessly lifted objects that would require the combined might of 10 men, her confidence soaring as she witnessed her creation in action. The scientists in the room marveled at Amanda's newfound abilities, congratulating themselves on a job well done. Time ticked by, and after 45 minutes, the atmosphere shifted. Amanda's temperature began to rise, her skin glowing with an unnatural intensity. Her strength escalated to levels that defied comprehension, a manifestation of the experiment's success. However, what began as exhilaration soon morphed into abject horror. Amanda's skin started to peel away, revealing a nightmarish transformation beneath. The very experiment that had endowed her with superhuman capabilities now turned against her, twisting her body into an unrecognizable form. She screamed, not in pain, but in a mixture of anguish and primal rage. As her skin fell away, a chilling realization dawned upon the scientists, Amanda's desire for blood. It was a primitive, insatiable craving that consumed her thoughts and actions. 2 nurses paid the price for this unspeakable hunger, their lives snuffed out in an instant. 3 others fled the room, their terrified screams echoing down the sterile corridors. With a newfound ferocity, Amanda stormed out onto the streets. The city, once a bustling metropolis, now stood in stark silence. Her footsteps reverberated against the empty buildings as she unleashed her monstrous strength upon unsuspecting victims. Her powers, once a testament to human ingenuity, had now become a weapon of unbridled destruction. In a matter of days, the city that had once thrived was reduced to a haunting ghost town. Fear and panic spread like wildfire, causing residents to flee for their lives. Amanda, now a creature consumed by darkness, reveled in the chaos she had wrought. The city's streets ran red with the blood of her victims, her insatiable lust for power driving her to commit unspeakable atrocities. In a mere 45 days, The city had become a chilling wasteland, its once vibrant streets deserted and stained with the horrors of Amanda's rampage. The echoes of her deranged laughter bounced off the empty buildings, a haunting reminder of the destruction she had caused. But Amanda's insatiable hunger knew no bounds. With the city emptied of life, she turned her gaze towards the next unsuspecting target. The darkness that had consumed her spread like a plague, leaving a trail of terror and death in its wake. In the wake of her devastating onslaught on the first city, Amanda's presence became a looming terror that cast a long, chilling shadow. The next city, previously untouched by her malevolent power, soon fell under the weight of her insatiable hunger. Like a harbinger of doom, Amanda left a trail of destruction in her wake, her inhuman strength and bloodlust decimating all in her path. As she entered the new city, the once vibrant streets now lay silent and deserted, haunted by the memory of her previous atrocities. The residents who had once called this place home had fled, driven by the tales of horror that had spread like wildfire. The city's landscape had transformed into a grim reminder of humanity's frailty in the face of the supernatural. Amanda's presence was a nightmare that played out in the darkest corners of the human psyche. Her form, grotesquely twisted by the very experiment she had championed, struck terror into the hearts of anyone who dared to glimpse her. Her eyes glowed with an unholy fire, a reflection of the darkness that had taken root within her. The city's few remaining inhabitants lived in constant fear, their lives a delicate balance between survival and the lurking spectre of Amanda's wrath. Whispers of her approach were met with terror, and people barricaded themselves in their homes, hoping to remain hidden from her insatiable thirst for blood. Yet, Amanda's malevolence was not bound by the confines of walls or locked doors. She prowled the city's abandoned streets, her footsteps echoing like a death knell in the empty silence. Those unfortunate enough to cross her path were met with a swift and brutal end, their lives extinguished in the blink of an eye. As the days turned into weeks, the city's emptiness grew more suffocating. Its once bustling heart had been replaced by a void that was a testament to Amanda's power and the horrors she had wrought. The few who remained lived in constant dread, their existence a mere shadow of what it once was. News of Amanda's reign of terror spread beyond the city, prompting neighboring towns to barricade their doors and mount defenses against the encroaching malevolence. Yet, no barrier seemed strong enough, no defense capable of withstanding the force of Amanda's unrelenting assault. The sense of impending doom hung heavy in the air, a reminder that even the most intelligent minds were powerless against the dark forces that had been unleashed. And so, Amanda's rampage continued unabated, leaving a trail of desolation in her wake. The very experiment that had been born of her brilliance had turned against her, transforming her into a monster driven by an insatiable hunger for power and blood. The cities that had once thrived were now lifeless husks, a stark reminder of the consequences of tampering with forces beyond human understanding. The tale of Amanda, the brilliant scientist turned malevolent entity, became a cautionary tale passed down through generations. Her name became synonymous with horror and destruction, a reminder that the pursuit of power could lead to unspeakable consequences. The cities she had ravaged remained forever scarred by her presence, a haunting testament to the darkness that can lurk within even the most intelligent and accomplished minds. And as Amanda's reign of terror stretched on, the world watched in horrified fascination, knowing that her insatiable hunger was a reflection of humanity's deepest fears and the fragility of the thin line between brilliance and madness. The darkness that had consumed her was a chilling reminder that some secrets were best left untouched, and that the pursuit of greatness could ultimately lead to the fall of even the brightest stars. If you liked this story, please give it a like, and don't forget to subscribe. Check the description for the next story.